Yes. The team that is second in goals allowed at 2.36 a game and second to last at 2.18 per game in goals for. The problem is the defense. You could be saying it doesn't make any sense. I mean, we saw this team last year, breakdown after defensive breakdown, just consistently leaving Igor out to dry. Like, you just an inevitable explosion where everyone leaves their task. And that really hasn't happened that much. And you could be asking, well, we lost to Calgary the other day, 5-1. We lost to the Sharks 6-5. Is that what you're referring to? No, I'm not. It's actually closer to the Vancouver game, which the Rangers won last night 2-0. I watched the first period and had to go to bed. Little did I know, seeing Mika Zibanejad score that great goal, I missed nothing. Nothing happened that game. They won 2-0, but it was an empty net. Jonathan Quick had to have a shutout to win that game. He had to have a shutout, or it would have gone in overtime. Why am I pinning this on the defense when the stats tell me, the eyes tell me, and I agree, the defense has been great? I mean, the people responsible for the defense, the defensemen, are the reason. How could this make sense? You look at the Rangers' defensive pairings. It's changed. Robertson and Urho Vakanainen have changed. Can you tell me the puck movers you see on this list? I'll give you a second to look at it and really think about it. Okay, that's enough. One. Adam Fox is our only puck mover. And people do not seem to understand. Well, I think some people do. I shouldn't say that. But I don't think it is looked at as big of an issue as it is. People are looking at the Rangers' offensive woes and pointing fingers at the forwards. Forwards are not at all exempt. I am not saying that. Mika's been the only forward that has not been a complete and utter disappointment at the start of the season. JT Miller's almost certainly playing hurt. He is invisible. Panarin is not playing like Panarin. Lafreniere has had moments, but generally he doesn't look good. He's not good defensively. Cooley's been a disaster. Zibanejad has looked the best he's looked in a few years. I wouldn't say he's back to like his prime, but he's looked great, and he looks like he actually cares. But I did a little bit of research, not much. I went and I looked at the Rangers' scorers besides Robertson, and the Rangers' best scorer, I guess you could include Gavrikov, but let's not include Gavrikov, or we'll include him. 30 points. Besides Adam Fox, 30 points. His career high. He had 33 in 21-22. 33 points. Besides him, Will Borgen at 25. Susie and Schneider at 21. Urho Vakanainen at 15. It doesn't matter what forward you have. Of course, if the Rangers had a better top six and some semblance of a bottom six, more specifically a third line, would the scoring be up? Sure. But you're never going to have good scoring, especially the playoffs with that defense. It doesn't matter if they play tight. You can't score. Every time you go on the ice, you don't have a single 0.5 point per game player on that defensive blue line. You are going to have at all times, mostly two, for about a third of the game when Fox is on, one guy who can move the puck and reliably do offense as a defenseman. The offense is never going to be good with that. You don't have puck movers. It sounds weird. I was thinking this earlier, especially when it comes to the playoffs, because that's how you have to think about this. The best defense in hockey is a good offense. Why? Because when you're on offense, when you're pressuring the other team, guess what? Your goalie doesn't have to make saves. The defense doesn't have to play defense. Of course, if you have defensive breakdowns, they could have 5 seconds of time in the zone and they can score. But essentially, you have a good offense. This is why Carolina's so good. Carolina's defense is great. in part to, Jacob Slavin, what they do in the D zone. But so much of it is good is that the way they play offense is just possession, possession, possession. We're going to keep shooting. We're going to keep keeping possession. The other teams, they don't get opportunities for a breakdown because there's so little time for them to have, to score. And Carolina's an example where you still do need forwards. Their issue is that they have a great defense and their forwards can score. So like I said, I'm not saying the forwards are irrelevant. I think a really great comparison is the Toronto Maple Leafs. And last year is a perfect example. The Leafs, the core four, they had Tavares, Matthews, Nylander, Marner, and year after year they go into playoffs. They can't score. That series against Boston, was it 2 or 3 years ago? They could not score. Power play is not doing anything. Morgan Riley was okay, but they didn't have any puck movers. Then they get a strong defensive blue line. They get Tanev, but they get OEL. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but they get more puck movers. And what happens? They go to the first round and they take Florida to 7 games. Their offense was better. You can look at the scoring. They scored more. When the defense tightens up, you need everyone to contribute. And when 5 of your 6 D-men, their record is 33 points, 25 points, 20 points, 15 points. In what world do you expect this offense to be good? In what world? Look, I thought the Rangers got a haul for Keandre Miller. I thought when we were trading him, I thought it was a mistake. I thought they should have just bridged him. They have the leverage, maybe take an offer sheet if it's thrown. And if he's still bad, if he's still really slow at making decision, the kind of raw skill doesn't make up for his decision making, then it is what it is. We can trade him, trade him mid-season or something. And we got a haul. But the problem is who'd we replace him with? Who do we replace Trouba with? Trouba would be our 3rd best defenseman on this team. He would be. And one of the better ones offensively, even though has not shown any offensive talent since Winnipeg years and years ago. Probably 8 years ago. They didn't replace him. Keandre Miller's replacement was Schneider and Borgen. Or Schneider and Soucy. We have no offense on our defense. And I want to say again, JT Miller, Panarin, Lafreniere, Cooley, Connor Sheary on the second line. Good God. Taylor Radish on the first line. Good God. Yes, that is an issue and an important one. I'm not discounting it. I am saying that I think the defense is more of an issue for our offense. You can't score with that. You can't score when you're going to have 1 to 2 players consistently on ice who cannot contribute offensively. You need puck movers. And Drury made no effort. 0. We got our defensive defenseman with Fox. That's great. And it looks like it's paying off. Fox has been playing better this season. But there's no one besides him. We could call up Scott Morrow. That's who we got from Keandre Miller. But this team seems to just hate young players with a burning passion for whatever reason. Or maybe he's not ready. That could be possible. But that's... I'm seeing people celebrate the Rangers got a much needed win, and I'm like, we scored 1 goal. I'm not counting an empty net goal. We scored 1 goal. Jonathan Quick had to be perfect to get a win. Perfect. This team is going to go nowhere with that defense. You can add a piece or two to that offense. You're going to probably need to add a couple pieces to it, honestly, and the players need to play the form as well. You get a third line. Let's say Berard goes on the second line and is a decent winger to help instead of Sheary. It could work. Maybe enough for playoffs. I don't think this team's very far from a cup. But I've been saying it. If the Rangers somehow are in the race for whatever reason, which I don't foresee, the number 1 move is a puck-moving defenseman. They can't score without it. And yeah, that's just kind of my point for the video. Rangers win against Vancouver. I didn't watch most of the game. From what I watched in the first, they looked dominant, but Vancouver's not great. And they still only scored 1 goal. I can't really comment on the second and third period, but seems like I didn't miss anything. So, yeah. Is the defense great? Points, like in goals allowed, yeah. Goals for, terrible. But I'm blaming the defense. A good offense makes a great defense, and a great defense makes a good offense. Thank you guys for watching. Last video has, I think, almost 300 views at this point. My last Ranger video got like 70. So that was really cool to see. I'm glad you guys like it. It made me want to make this video. If you want to see more, let me know. I would love to continue making these videos. I am smited and cursed to love this team more than any sports team. And man, on the list of things in life, to see this team win is certainly high on that list. And I really hate that it's that way, but I can't control the love I have for this team. So I'd love to keep making videos. If you're interested, leave a comment. Thank you.